So not sure if you can see here, but I know it's a little hard, but this is our second class of chickens this year. So these are our Freedom Rangers. They look outstanding. So we're thinking that they'll be ready like, I don't know, late August, mid to late August. And then we have one more group that's coming next week. So next week or the week after, we have another 300 birds that will be getting us through the season. So it's amazing with the chickens. We can't keep them in stock. I mean, we did already 300 chickens and they were all pre-sold and gone. And then, you know, we got some of these actually faster growing broiler crosses here that we've grown out as well, just to help us meet some of the demand. So you could see there's 400 birds out here right now between the Freedom Rangers and the broiler crosses. So again, they're doing good. They're on the pasture. You could see their tracks. You know, they were just here yesterday, so they're eating this down pretty good, this pasture, and they're really growing. You know, they're looking great. Like I said, the Freedom Rangers, it's one of our favorite birds. It's our best bird, and they grow really, really nicely. They just take longer. So some people say, hey guys, you know, the price of a whole chicken, you know, it's $28. But, you know, we always say you got to understand, this is a 12 to 14 week bird. So there's a lot of feed that goes into feeding a bird for 12 to 14 weeks to get it to size. So again, we don't get, you know, we're not buying feed like Tyson's chicken, and we're not getting Tyson's chicken, and we're not raising them like Tyson's chicken. So when we price out our chickens, you're really not even paying for the labor cost that goes into it, because you got to be out here 3 times a day changing water, 2 to 3 times a day feeding, moving the tractor here, what we call this a chicken tractor, every single day. I mean, there's labor, there's fuel, there's time, all of that. So, you know, when we get customers our birds, you know, we're really proud to give them those birds, because A, they taste amazing, and B, a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of energy went into those birds. And, you know, we're confident to say that, you know, you're not going to find anything at the supermarket that is raised in this manner. So you're paying for that. You're paying for, obviously, better health. Yeah, you know, a better, healthier bird that doesn't have vaccines and doesn't have all the medicated feed that you would typically get in a big chicken house. So this is how they live. This is how they're raised. And again, the only reason they're in these huts is to protect them from predators. So, or else, you know, we'd have them running around like our egg layers, which aren't out yet. But the egg layers go back in the house every night, so the predators can't get them. But, you know, we take a lot of pride in our chickens. You know, right now we're taking pre-orders for the birds that'll be ready in August, which are all these birds. And our last class of birds is sold out. So we're hustling like crazy to try to get all those birds to the customers that purchase. So I always say, and I hate to say it, but our first class of birds for the year, because of the climate here, always takes a little bit longer. So we really appreciate everybody's patience that's been, you know, that have been awaiting their birds that they placed their late winter / spring orders for. And now these are the birds that are going to go out for our summer orders. And then we have another class coming in, like I said, after this, that will go with our fall / winter orders. And I have a feeling that our chickens will be sold out throughout the winter, which is a good sign. And again, we're really grateful and appreciative of that. But it's just hard to keep them in stock, you know. Maybe at some point we'll have another farm that we can add to the mix, and we can raise even more chickens and do a few thousand birds a year, and, you know, become that #1 pasture raised chicken provider here in the Northeast, and get our customers nothing but the best. But to do things right, you know, today not a lot of people do things the right way. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, and it takes a plan. So for us, we're executing on all of those, and we raise our turkeys the same way. So for those that don't know, we are taking pre-orders for our turkeys. You can go over to wearefreedomfarms.com and you can click and put your deposit down on our turkeys. And we raise our turkeys the same way. They're out on pasture, pecking at the ground, growing amazing, and the flavorful taste is just fantastic. And it's a cool story to tell too. When you're saying, yeah, I bought my turkey this year from a small farm. I know how they raised it. We've seen video, we've seen pictures of our turkey being raised. And Lauren puts a lot of care and a lot of effort and love into raising those turkeys. So it's a good, it's definitely a good conversation outside of politics at the Thanksgiving table. And people are like, you're crazy. What are you talking about turkeys for in July? It's like, well, this is how it starts. Agriculture is all about preparation, like I said, and it's all about being a few months ahead. Everything happens a few months ahead. The other day I showed you the hay bales. We've already got over 150 hay bales ready for winter. We're going to be adding another 300 of those hay bales before winter. So we're going to be going into winter with 400 to 600 bales of hay. And you got to start doing that now. That process of preparation started in June. Thinking about it, starting in April, May. So it's pretty cool. Most people don't know what they're gonna have for dinner, but for us, we always have to know that, winter's coming and summer's coming too. And with summer, which we're in now, it's all about managing this grass. And you can see, some patties over here. We let the cows in here for 2 days to eat this down because the chickens don't like the grass too high. So they ate this down for us. They acted as natural lawnmowers. Now they're out there pissed at us because we didn't move them onto fresh pasture, but they're gonna be held here for about a day, not a day, about 6 hours. And then we're gonna move them onto our far pasture over there. So we keep the animals moving, we keep the chickens moving, we keep the pigs outside, and everybody's happy when you do that. And the land is happy. Look at what the cows dump all over the land. I mean, you know how good this is? And what I'm stepping on here, there's the cow, and there's all the chicken. So the chickens have dumped all over this land. So when this pasture comes back in the spring, it's like amazing. It's explosive growth and it's explosive green, and it's really amazing what comes through on this pasture. So we're looking to do the same out there on our cow pasture, and just keep on top of the grass and the soil and making sure that all the microorganisms that live beneath the soil are thriving, because if they're thriving, the grass is going to be thriving, and therefore our cows are going to be thriving. And ultimately, when you have thriving cows, and you're going to have really amazing tasting beef and tasting meat. Which I want to say this, because some people have said, hey, I've bought off a farm before and I've had the meat and it's really chewy. And the one thing I always say is you got to be careful when you buy off farms, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times the cows that are being processed are old cows. They could even be old dairy cows called cull cows that are just kind of not performing anymore. So they're pulled out, brought to a processor, and then you're given that meat. So it's not young, tender meat. So that's why sometimes it doesn't taste that great. But for us, like, all of our cows are under 30 months old. They're younger cows. They're not out on pasture for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. That's not how we do it here. So younger cows are better tasting cows, and they're beef. They're not dairy. We don't process dairy cows. So anyway, that's what we have going here at Freedom Farms today. And again, thanks for hanging with us. I always say, for those of you in the city or cities, look at what's out there for you. You can come at any time and hang out with us. And again, mark your calendar. September 16th, we have Freedom Fest here at Freedom Farms. So we have music, we have pig roast. We have all our meats being cooked. It's a good time for kids, games, all sorts of stuff. So it's the ultimate fall party, and every year we try to make it better and better. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. Thanks for hanging with us. I got to move the cows one more time later, and look at that sky. Wow, is that a view or what? And we'll talk to you soon. So again, if you're enjoying the channel and my commentary, give us a subscribe, give us a like, and stay in touch with us. Give us comments. We like to know who's following us and who's coming on this journey with us. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.